Hello, welcome back to what will be the fourth lesson in the Fearshid cane. Now, what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at putting together everything that we've talked at over the last 3 weeks. Now, we've looked at the 4 lines, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't matter whether I'm coming across that way or that way, when I'm delivering with the back of my hand or the front of my hand. All of these attacks are the 4-line attacks, the 4-line cuts. And we'll add to those cuts with what we looked at last week, which is the two-handed or the two-handed thrust, the pick thrust, or the dart thrust. Now, everything works in Fearshid, because Fearshid, as I said at the beginning, means spindle. So everything spins one way, and then everything spins the other. Now, what I can do is I can build power either through the twist in my hands or the twist in my hips. And that's where I'm going to deliver everything from. So if an attack comes in here, what I can do is I can turn into that. You'll notice that my hips are turned. So, very simple attack is all I'm going to do is coil to the face. Very basic, but that gives you the rough idea. Now, it starts to get a little bit more complex, because if the attack comes into this side and I catch it with a hanging guard, now you'll notice my hand is turned, so there's tension in my hand, but I've also turned my hips. So that means that there's a lot of potential energy which I can use here, and I'm going to, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncoil to the face. My hips are still very slightly coiled, and then I'm going to come back the other way to the face. And my hips are again coiled, so I can lean forward into an attack. The point is, this is a very quick start, so if Ian just gives me a target, what I can do is I can deliver 2 very solid, very quick blows in very short succession, just by having my hand in this pronated position. And if there's a guard in the target in place, if I'm coming for that, I can uncoil, pull back, move through. The idea of the spindle is everything is constantly moving one way, then moving the other. Equally, if something comes for an upwards attack and I'm in guard, I pronate. Luckily enough, I can clear with my hand, where should have my cloak all wrapped around to avoid the nasty thorns on his shillelagh. I coil. 1, 2, 3, or from here I can come in 1, 2. I can come in with a pick. Again, if something was coming in for the flank and I catch with the guard, you'll notice my arm is in a very unpleasant position. I'm not happy about this. That's not necessarily a problem, because there's a lot of tension on my arm, which I can use. So if I wanted to, all I needed to do is flip my wrist and swing. So from this position, flip my wrist round into the face. This is, as I've said repeatedly, this is a quick system. This is a system all about movement. Now, if Ian was to attack high, I can effectively just block it here, but I'm not really, this is quite a gentle position. I'm not really in any sort of coil. I'm not built up, there's no real potential kinetic energy that I can use to unfurl him. And that's where we're going to start to build into next week, because you'll notice from this position, all I've done is I've taken the heat out of his cane, and this is when we can start to do things like open up our opponent for nasty attacks. So what we'll do is we'll look at that next week. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you then.